Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Lenox Board of Selectmen meeting on Wednesday, November 17th at 6 p.m. here in Town Hall. This is our regular meeting. I have one announcement from the chair. I'd like to congratulate the Land Use Office for winning a lovely grant for the town of Lenox from the Department of Fish and Game's Mass Wildlife Habitat Management Grant Program. It will provide financial assistance to us as a municipality to conserve lands, to improve and manage habitat for wildlife deemed in greatest conservation need. We, the town of Lenox, in conjunction with Berkshire Natural Resources Council, has been awarded $26,810 to control hardy kiwi vine at Kennedy Park and adjacent properties. I've got a statement here from Senator Hines. He believes that Western Mass is home to some of the most precious and vital natural land that provide essential ecosystems and clean air, and that protecting these lands from invasive species must continue to be a top priority. Likewise, Representative Smitty Pignatelli stated that the funds from this Mass Wildlife Habitat Management Grant will be instrumental to both Kennedy Park and areas along the Housatonic River. As the Berkshires are known for our natural landscapes, and the improvements made possible by this grant will continue to allow residents to access and enjoy our beautiful natural landscapes for generations to come. So we want to thank our Land Use Department for helping us to win this grant. It'll be well used. I'm going to entertain acceptance of the minutes from November 3rd.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from November 3rd, 2021, meeting of the Select Board.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. Passes unanimously. Citizens Open Forum. Do we have anyone who would like to address the Select Board? Hearing none, we're going to move on to our consent agenda. We have a one-day all-alcohol license request from Canyon Ranch for Wednesday, December 8th from 5 to 8 p.m. for a holiday party to be held behind the stable at the Mount. A certified bartender will be present. We also have a one-day wine and malt license request from Joseph Carroll for Saturday, January 1st, 2022 from 1 to 4 p.m. for a 100th birthday party to be held at St. Anne's Parish.
Hold.
Again, a certified bartender will be present.
Oh, I'm sorry, hold.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a hold. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda, except for the hold, one-day license.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great.
So the reason I'm holding it is because for those of us who've lived in Lenox all our life, and those of us who haven't, Nancy Carroll is certainly a really wonderful person, and I'm delighted to see that her family recognizes that and is going to give her a birthday party for being 100. I don't know who has Arcane right now, but I'm sure that Nancy's got to be in the running pretty soon here. So
That's fantastic.
Congratulations to the family, and certainly congratulations to Nancy. She's a lovely, lovely lady.
Well,
I couldn't agree more, and I'm glad you brought up the 100th birthday, because I didn't know it was announced like that. So,
Yeah.
but she's still got everything going for her.
Oh,
too.
yeah,
She
she
climbs
does.
the stairs every day,
Lives
does
by
everything
herself.
she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
She's just adorable.
Yeah,
And smart and witty. She's a great person.
great lady.
Yeah, and from a good family in town. They've
Yeah,
been around
it's a great
long
family.
time.
Yeah. So that's all I had to say, is just congratulations, Nancy. And
That's
hopefully
terrific.
we'll get a chance to say that again, but, yeah.
Terrific. That's great. Do we need another?
So I'll make a motion to approve the one-day license for Joseph Carroll.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. Thank you for that. I'm not acquainted with Ms. Carroll, but hopefully I will make her acquaintance shortly. Now we're going to move to general business. We have a National Grid public hearing. A representative from National Grid is here to seek permission to construct a line of underground electric conduits on Old Stockbridge Road for a residence located at number 88, Old Stockbridge Road. There will be a motion to open the public hearing. with a required explanation from National Grid. Following their presentation, we'll have another motion to close the public hearing and then vote to approve or deny the request.
So I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Shall I read, do we have to read the?
I don't
is
have-
there-
there's
is
no
there-
notice.
There's no notice? Oh, thank you. Excellent. I was wondering where that was. Right.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Steve from National Grid. I have some visuals for you I'd like to hand out.
Thank you. We do have some visuals in our packet, but it's not nearly as good as that.
I think it's the
They're a little muddy.
exact thing, but
Perfect. Much easier to see.
Much easier.
so the resident at 88 Old Stockbridge Road, they are revamping their electric service. And in order for us to accommodate that to today's standards, we are asking to extend where our last box is to be able to provide them service to our most up-to-date codes today. So our last box is in front of the house of 92 Old Stockbridge Road, and we're asking to extend that line just to essentially the property line of 88 and 92, and they'll put another box in the ground for that customer to bring their service to.
So HH1 is where it is now, and HH2 is the new one that you're going to be
Correct.
constructing. Okay, great. I don't have any questions. Gentlemen?
I'm sorry?
I don't have any questions. Do you gentlemen have any?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
Great.
Yeah, pretty straightforward, just work you gotta do.
It's always good to bring a house up to code. That's a great thing.
All right, so I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So I'll move to approve the application of National Grid dated October 25, 2021, to construct a line of underground electric conduits on Old Stockbridge Road.
Oh, wait a second.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time.
Can I say something?
Yes,
We've
absolutely.
got to correct something. I was not at the last meeting, and I seconded the acceptance of the minutes
Oh, okay.
just
Well,
now.
okay. We can amend that, and I will
I
second.
don't know that it's inappropriate to second it, but maybe the minutes could reflect your abstention from
Okay.
the.
So I've got to abstain from the
Okay.
vote, okay?
Great, sure. Sure, absolutely. We can do that. Thank you for pointing that out. I was not Johnny on the spot with that.
Nor was I.
Okay, so we'll move to the approval of the bond sale. The town recently went out to bid for $4.65 million in bonds to fund various capital projects within the town. And by various, we mean specifically the library dome renovation project, the town hall project, the water main project that's occurring on Housatonic Street?
Reservoir Road.
Reservoir Road, thank you, and then the Walker Street water line as well. So just to kind of give people a sense of these four large projects. Chris Ketchner will be updating the board as to what these bonds are for the various amounts and projects. We were able to get a very good interest rate, and that was based on our exceptional AAA rating. But these bonds are going to require our signature, and Chris, if you'd like to go into a brief explanation.
Sure, I'll try to be brief. I think you said it. The treasurer and I worked with the rating agencies, with bond counsel and a town's financial advisor to prepare the borrowing that was bid on Monday. These, of course, are all bonds that were previously approved by town meeting by a 2/3 vote. We received 7 bids. The spread was about 12 basis points over those 7 bids. So we feel confident that we got a competitive exposure to the municipal bond market as a result of the number of bids that we received and the spread not being exceptionally wide. BOK Financial Securities Incorporated was the winning bidder. They bid what's called the true interest cost of 1.6%. I'm not aware of at any time the town being able to finance borrowing for an interest rate that low. And as you said, for those who are watching at home but may not have read the papers, we of course had our AAA rating affirmed last week in advance of this borrowing. That's why we seek a rating, so that we get independent evaluation of our financial condition. So the motion that Brenda and I have prepared for you this evening will authorize you to sign approval of these bonds that were bid on Monday. The effective date would be December 1st, and also to authorize, since Mr. Maximilian is not with us tonight, to designate Mr. Lane as the clerk for the purposes of certifying the vote.
Super.
And I haven't done this in about 5 years, so if I've missed anything or if you have any questions, I won't be offended.
No, I just think it's great that we're in the position that we're in with the bond rating that we received, AAA, so that we could get this very competitive rate. I think it's a tribute to every other select board that's come before us, and your management of the town finances over the last several years, that we were in such good financial shape that we received the rating we received and were able to get this interest rate. So I think we're in good shape.
I certainly second exactly what you said. I've been on the board for a lot of years, and I remember significantly higher rates in the past. And this is a breath of fresh air. Congratulations, Chris. Good job.
Yeah, great job, Chris, on the AAA bond rating. And we're just so fortunate in this town where things are clicking good. And we have, even through the COVID thing and all that, our finances are top notch and in order, and it's proving it now. And it's this kind of fiscal management that keeps us that way. So,
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's great. It's good to have, the partnership of the board and the town manager who's so responsible and keeping us on the straight and narrow, that we're in such good financial stewardship.
We're certainly appreciative of the voters for having the confidence in the town as a governing institution to approve these projects that we need to do, and it shows pride in infrastructure, and we're certainly appreciate the value that they place on that.
Excellent point. So I would entertain a motion to approve the bond sale.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the vote of the Board of Selectmen presented by the town manager and prepared by bond counsel for the sale of general obligation municipal purpose loan of 2021 bonds of the town dated December 1st, 2021 to BOK Financial Securities, Inc. And further to designate that Edward Lane as clerk for the purpose of certifying the board's approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen. Now we'll move on to another item of general business, the electrical inspection fees and alternate inspector appointment. The electrical fees have not been increased for some time, and Inspector Bob Pensivy, thank you, is recommending a new fee schedule, which is attached in our packet this evening. In addition, the town manager is recommending the appointment of Mike Burton as the alternate wiring inspector for the town. So I have a comment about the proposed fee schedule. I noticed that it stated that the fees haven't been increased in quite some time, and the recommendation was to increase the fees for new home inspections from $40 to $60, for a new commercial inspection from $60 to $75, and small solar roof inspections from $120 to $150. And my concern was that they're not all increasing at the same rate, that the inspection amount for new home inspections is increased by 50%. The commercial and the solar inspections have increased by 25%. And I just think that for equality's sake, that we should either increase all of them by 25% or increase all of them by 50%, which is splitting hairs, but I just think that's
Well, I
fair.
certainly understand what you're saying, and it certainly has some merit, but on the other hand, Bob Pensevy has been our wiring inspector like forever. And I mean, like, from 1985, I remember him as being our wiring inspector. And I'm sure he didn't do this
Lightly.
lightly. I'm
Right.
sure he checked with other communities and see what they were charging so that we could remain competitive. So I have a lot of faith in what he's come up with. And unless he were here to talk about that, my recommendation would be go along with what he's proposed.
That's valid.
I think I agree with Dave. Bob's been at it a long time, and probably, I'm just speaking for Bob. I mean, I haven't talked to him, but I'm assuming that he feels that this is the workload for doing a solar thing compared to a house or whatever. It is what it is, and I'm sure he's done this without a thought about percentage, but actually what the workload actually entails. I certainly would guess. Is that what he said to you, Chris?
So not to muddy the water, but Chairwoman Mitz was nice enough to give me a heads up that this was her thought process earlier today. So I did call Bob, and Bob was totally comfortable with whatever the direction the board wanted to take, whether it was to reduce the latter two fees to conform to the percentage increase increase the new commercial and roof solar fees to match the percentage increase on the residential, or reduce the residential to conform to the commercial and solar. There's something of it falls somewhere along his indifference curve where that was concerned. So he was totally comfortable with whatever direction the board wanted to take.
In the past, when we worked with the building inspector and the plumbing inspector and the folks, it hasn't generally been necessarily an increase proportionately equal. It has been what competing towns are doing, so that we never charge the most nor do we charge the least, but we're somewhere in the middle. And there are, in many instances, in our tax rate, for example, between commercial and residential, they don't go up proportionally the same. So Bob must have put some sort of thought process into this, and if he's comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with it. But
I mean, I'm fine with it. I just,
no, your point's well taken.
figured I'd
Yeah.
throw in my 32 cents.
Oh, that's super.
Well, I'm sorry. Warren, did you have a? Oh.
Seems reasonable to me.
So maybe a thought here is to maybe approve what's been written. But I'll be honest. I haven't done my due diligence to go around and do a comparison. I mean, I'm convinced that we're probably still lower because we haven't updated for 10 years, and this is Bob's attempt to try and bring us, a little bit further along, but perhaps not all the way. So maybe a full analysis is due to come back to you in maybe a couple of months after we have a chance to look around. But in the meantime, I would recommend we go with what Bob's asked for in black and white, and then look for an opportunity to bring greater conformity with our neighbors at a later date. Maybe that's a middle path.
Sure, that sounds
It makes good sense.
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah, and in the past, I mean, periodically we've looked at all of our permit fees, inspection fees, and permits as well. And maybe that's a good practice to keep up and annually take a look and see where we stand in the county and town, see if we're missing the boat or we're too high, we don't want to discourage it. So the cost of construction is so damn high right now anyway. It's
Exactly.
just,
No,
you hate
I
to
agree.
add anything to it, significantly to it, so.
Yes, I agree with that. I just figured,
No, it's a good point.
you know,
So,
we should look at it.
and I guess to take it even a step further than that, I mean, why should the analysis stop at the wire fees, right? So maybe this is a good prompt for staff. This conversation we're having right now is a good prompt for staff to look at the entire market basket.
Okay.
Okay, we'll take that as a test. I think that's fair.
Yeah, again, we charge a lot of fees for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Some may be below and some may be too much, so it's a good idea to look at that stuff. You gotta do that every now and then.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
No, it's a good task.
Yep, I think that's right.
Great. Okay, so I would entertain a motion to accept the current fees, and that will task our departments with taking a look at other fees.
Okay,
And then
so,
if I can just comment on the appointment, I did, Bob made the recommendation of Mike Burton, who's full-time in Pittsfield and part-time in Lee. So this is to fill a vacancy for Bill Roach, who's no longer available to perform the work. This is one of two spots, Scott Pignatelli being the other alternate who's worked for the town for
Well, we should
a
thank Bill for
long time.
too.
So, yeah, we certainly want to thank Mr. Roach for his service. And when I spoke to Scott, he was supportive and had good things to say about Mr. Burton as filling the second alternate's role. So that was I wanted to share that with the board.
Good.
Excellent.
And he's no relation to me, by the way.
That question was rattling around in my brain, but I wasn't sure I was going to ask
I gotta
it.
tell a story though. He was a state cop he retired many years, and when I was probably just out of the service, so in my 20s, I got stopped by a cop. And license and registration, and my first name's William as well, and I gave it to him. He looked at it and he said, "I can't give you a ticket." So we share the same name, William Roach. So, yeah, he's been an asset to the community, both Lee, Lenox, and Berkshire County, and a good contractor. Yeah,
That's awesome. And that's a good story.
it's a true story.
That's great. All right, well, I would entertain a motion.
so I'll make a motion to approve the proposed fee schedule presented by the town manager and wire inspector, and further, to ratify the town manager's appointment of Mike Burton as an alternative wire inspector.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Now we'll move on to, if I can find the page that I'm looking at. Any Board of Selectmen liaison reports?
I got nothing tonight.
You got nothing tonight? Okay, I have one thing, if I can find it. Okay. In my capacity as the library liaison, I'd like to remind people that there is a distinguished lecture series held monthly. This Sunday, November 21st at 4 p.m., Eugenio Menigan will be speaking about the history of U.S.-China relations from 1776 to today. Not a small time period.
Better pack your lunch.
Yeah. So Dr. Menigan is an associate professor of history at Boston University, and this and all of the distinguished lecture series that the library will be presenting from now through April of 2022 will be held over Zoom. We feel that that's the best way to present these lectures, just due to the vagaries of COVID-19, and we don't know if we're going to be, moving into another wave. This way, we can serve people who maybe are Lenox Library patrons during the summer months and maybe have gone back to warmer climates, but they still enjoy attending these lectures. They can do that free over Zoom. So I just wanted to give the library that platform this evening, and otherwise, I have nothing else to report.
I don't have much either. I gotta say, in relationship to what you just said, I hope we can get Jimmy Brooks back to give us, to be part of the Distinguished Lecture Series, because his resume is so impressive. And, you know, he's a good guy, and he has a lot to offer the community. He lives right here now. He's retired, sort of. And, you know, it'd be nice to have him back, so we'll see if we can't work that out. And I don't have anything else, except I'd like to wish my colleagues a happy Thanksgiving and my constituents a happy Thanksgiving. And thank you for putting your trust in me. Thank you.
Nothing to report,
Okay, well, thank you for those.
but likewise, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Thank you for those kind Thanksgiving wishes, Dave and Lauren, and I'm sure
Me too.
Ed feels the same way. Everybody have a safe and happy one. I know it's an interesting time next week when all the college kids come back and get together at the Heritage. That's always a fun evening for the youngsters.
It's been a big night.
Yes. So thank you, and our next regular meeting will be Wednesday, December 1st at 6 p.m.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to adjourn. Well, wait a second.
Oh, sure.
Is our next one going to be a Tuesday? Did you change that?
Actually, oh yes, I would like it to be a Tuesday because I do have something going on the 1st. I won't be here on the 1st. So yes, thank you for that. So if we could do our next meeting on November 30th, it's a Tuesday evening, would that be
That's fine.
acceptable?
Fine with me, yeah.
Lauren,
Okay,
is
fine.
that
Yeah.
good with you? Okay, great. Thank you, Dave. Thank you for doing that. I don't know where my brain is. So our next regular meeting will be Tuesday, November 30th at 6 p.m. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'm sorry, did you make a motion?
Yeah, I made a
Oh,
motion.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.